responsible is LeBron for what's happening to the Cavs right now?
He's got some responsibility, but believe it or not, I'd put it at about 30%. The majority of the responsibility is not with him. Some of it comes with him because when we talk about agendas or we talk about distractions, despite the fact that he's the greatest player in the world, the reality is that you have people wondering about where he's going to be after this season. I think to some degree that plays a role in the mentality of guys that you're on the court with no matter what they say. I have to put most of it on Tyronn Lue because you're the coach and defense is the problem. So that's collective play and that's effort. He'll get it together. I have no doubt about it because I have faith in him as a coach. It's just that you can't ignore the coach when it comes to defense being an issue. If it's offense, it's different because it could be the agendas that he's alluding to. It could be a level of selfishness. It could be people thinking about their dollars, thinking about their playing time and all of this other stuff. But when it comes to defense, that's about effort more than anything else. And the Cleveland Cavaliers just don't show much of it on the defensive side of the ball. They rank 22 defensively, 22 against three-point shooting, 25th against two-point field goals. So you see consistently it's a problem. I got to throw J.R. Smith in there, Max Kellerman, because here's the deal. You are going up against the Minnesota Timberwolves, and the off guard is Jimmy Butler. You score 0 points on 0 of 7 shooting. Last night, you are going up against DeMar DeRozan. I'm just talking about in terms of who's your starting shooting guard. Since J.R. Smith is the starting shooting guard, DeRozan does what DeRozan does. What does J.R. Smith do in this game? 0. He had a donut at the shooting guard spot in 27 minutes and 25 minutes, respectively. That's just putrid. That's just putrid. There's no other way around it. It's awful. You got to get more production from the shooting guard spot. From your starting shooting guard can't score 0. He can't score as many points as Stephen A. Smith or Max Kellerman on television. That is not happening. That cannot happen, okay? And that is what happened with J.R. Smith over the last 2 games. So in that regard, I got to throw him into the mix as well because he's the starting shooting guard putting up donuts, all right? But ultimately, it's the combination of LeBron because he's the king, of JR because of the donuts, and Tyronn Lue because you are the coach, and defense is clearly a problem for this team as it has been all year long.
Well, I'm going to answer it in a second, but first let me just be the first to say Jimmy Butler's an MVP candidate this year. So, you got your work cut out on the defensive end. You're playing Butler. And DeRozan's knocking down 37% of his threes. That was the only thing missing of his game from his game, and he's shooting 3 of them a game.
He's improved.
He's elite now.
Improved.
He's improved, but that was the only thing he needed to do to be elite. He's elite. Butler's an MVP candidate. Though that's a tall task for J.R. Smith, but you're right. I don't care how you're playing defense or what you got to do. You can't score 0 points as the starting shooting guard. Let me say, LeBron is 70% responsible for this, Stephen A. If you put it at 30, I'll put it at 70. He's not 100, but he's more than halfway responsible because, let's be honest, we all know what this is. He ran Kyrie Irving out of town. So if you're talking about the state of Cleveland by the time the finals roll around, I think they'll be all right if Isaiah's healthy. But we're talking about right now, LeBron ran him out of town. And he did so in a way that devalued Kyrie's trade value. And they got the best deal they could for him, but part of getting a good deal for him was taking back damaged goods. Isaiah was damaged goods. And you knew that it was going to be a while before he even got back on the court. So what Cleveland is dealing with right now is like they're in the 2nd or 3rd game of preseason, really, in terms of what the team's going to look like by the time the playoffs roll around. They're just getting their legs under them because, and this happens to Cleveland all the time. It happened this year. They started slowly, then they're on a roll. But now they got to integrate, not reintegrate, but integrate an enormous piece on the offense, the 2nd most important offensive player. And that's going to take some time. And by the way, that offensive player, remember I said when we saw Isaiah back that first game, the good news is that's Isaiah Thomas. We needed to know, fundamentally, would he be Isaiah Thomas? That's Isaiah Thomas. But that ain't Isaiah at 100%. Isaiah
I need to ask you a question.
Go ahead.
I need to ask you a question. I need you to clarify. When you say LeBron ran Kyrie out of town, exactly what do you mean and what are you saying?
Their relationship, it is no secret that even though Kyrie doesn't want to discuss it, that their relationship is why Kyrie wanted to leave. I mean, let's face it. If that relationship is good, Kyrie is still there. And that's on LeBron, and you have made this point. You're the leader of the team, LeBron. That is on you. Even if Kyrie's being hard-headed or difficult, and we see in Boston, Kyrie is a team player. You know, I was fooled a little bit thinking, oh, Kyrie may be getting selfish and everything. Actually, you see the way he plays point guard. He's a real point guard. He's a team player. LeBron wanted to use him off the ball a lot because that's actually the best thing for the Cavs at the time. Kyrie felt stifled, and at that point, there's going to be friction. How you handle that in your personal relationship will have a big impact on your professional relationship at that point, and that is on LeBron. LeBron's responsible for that, and he blew it, and Kyrie's gone, and you got what you could for him, which was damaged goods and Isaiah Thomas, plus some other nice pieces. So that is on LeBron that they're in this state now. But I'll say one last thing, Stephen A., and then throw it back to you. You believe the Cavs are going to make the playoffs?
Yes.
Yeah, everyone knows they're going to make the playoffs. If you believe that they're going to make the playoffs, then if you look at this as the second or third game of preseason, like you know they're going to make the playoffs, so you can really look, where are they in terms of their development as a unit? It's the first couple games with Isaiah, and he's not even playing full minutes or second of back-to-backs yet, and he's not even 100%, obviously. He doesn't have his basketball legs yet. I'm not worried about the Cavs right now.